Well, hello, class. Chapter 2 here is going to be quite an exciting chapter. Essentially, what Chapter 2 does is it really talks about developing the leader in you. It's all about really developing your interpersonal skills for success. What about you? Um, the purpose of this particular chapter is going to be to stress the importance of developing and practicing appropriate interpersonal skills so that you will be successful as a leader. So, what we're going to talk about in this chapter is going to be emotional intelligence. There's a big thing about uh, people, certain individuals having the ability to look at the big picture and to assess quickly what needs to be done. Very much like a conductor that orchestrates an entire orchestra, knows how to get all of the instruments to work together. We're also going to be talking about doing a self assessment. And a lot of that has to do with MBTI, as you probably know, the Myers Briggs test. And basically, it tells us what type of individuals we are. Are we intuitive individuals? Are we reflective individuals? Are we assertive? Are we more um, intellectual, thinking about things, putting them together, but not being as vocal? Do we deliver the message or do we put the message together? Again, it's all part of the team. Then we talk about the big five traits. Um, we're going to go into persuasion skills. And finally, one thing about persuasion, don't confuse that with manipulation. Persuasion means getting others to articulate and understand the vision that you have and try to get them to buy into it because you believe it's the right place to go. And we're going to talk about the worldview of what's a leader and what's a followers. And we're going to talk about something called single loop learning. And this is going to be interesting as well. So, what I want to do is basically go into the learning objectives. As you probably know, we don't go into the learning objectives of each section of every chapter because we just wouldn't have the time to do that. It's not realistic. So, what I am doing is taking the most important components of what I think are based on the subject matter and the identity of this course, which would be developing you as a leader. But certainly, interpersonal skills are extremely important in this area. Um, Looking at the learning objectives for this particular chapter, we want to be able to identify and assess your personal personality traits and how they impact your leadership style and your ability to lead. And I think you want to develop an understanding and appreciation of the uh, how the impact will do for the big five traits and emotional intelligence as far as you as a leader in your particular environment or environments. How effective is that? We're also going to get through self assessment and inquiry and how you apply your individual personality, like your particular traits, your MBTA profile, and to predict success in practicing the big five, traits, skills, emotional intelligence, and so on. So, in this particular chapter, you're going to want to know how your interpersonal skills are going to be one of the most important factors and leadership success. We're going to look at personal skills that, interpersonal skills that don't work. Which ones are inadequate, especially when we're always agreeing with things and having tact and being open to different things other than what we're used to doing. That can lead to a lot of derailment. And we're going to, in derailment, I'm talking about failure and removal from your present position. The big five traits are going to be able to help you to predict successful leadership. And leaders should really strive to appreciate these traits and the skills that come from them. Now, you can look at, just to elaborate a little bit about emotional intelligence, EI, you can look at that as applied interpersonal skills and maybe styles and modes that derive from the big five characteristics, which we would probably know are extroversion, agreeableness, tact, and stability, especially under stress. We'll get your here we go, your MBTI profile, and it's going to tell us how we're hardwired. How are you naturally comfortable with who you are? See, that's really important when you talk about the leader in you, because of there's so many different schools of thoughts. Are leaders born? Are leaders made? And some say it's one or the other, or a combination of both. And honestly, in all the years I've been doing this, I haven't come up with a concrete answer, and I don't know if I ever will. But what I do know is that you're the best leader at being who you are as a person. How are you hardwired? Why is it effective or not effective? And studying the big five and MBTI and emotional intelligence and all that, that's going to be really helpful, especially in this chapter. So this is a very important chapter that we're going to spend a couple of days on. So I want you to be able to look at some of the links I'm going to be putting up for you. We're especially dealing with MBTI, emotional intelligence, the big five, and all of that. And really go through these videos that I'm putting up. See how they apply to your profile. And we have what's referred to as the big five ocean traits, OCEAN. We're going to look at that as well. So let's now get into the actual chapter. And tomorrow I am going to be giving you another DQ based on chapter 2. No, not Dr. Seuss. It rhymes. And that is going to be due on Saturday the 6th, deadline at midnight. And finally, just real quick, to close out the week, you're going to get your first hypothetical, and that will more than likely, I know this goes until the 8th of January, so that will more than likely be going into the beginning of next week. Okay, certainly by the 8th. So that hypothetical will come at the end of chapter 4, and it'll be focusing on chapters 3 and 4. So here again, just take your time, relax, go through the videos. I'm doing reading, listening, and viewing because just like I did with chapter 1, I split it up between the 2 days. And I'm going to do the same with this chapter. They are so important in getting this course off the ground. A lot of stuff here. Okay, that's it.